Welcome back to Capitol Tonight. Assemblymember Jessica González-Rojas, a Democrat, has introduced a bill that ensures that the New York State Department of Health includes within it a reproductive health services education and outreach program, as well as financial assistance for reproductive health services and counseling. It's not the only bill that the Assemblymember has introduced this session. We're going to talk with her about both bills right now. Welcome back to Capitol Tonight. JGR, as you're known.
Thank you for having me.
So quickly tell us about this reproductive rights bill that has already passed both houses.
Yes, so it's a reproductive health education bill. It essentially codifies what we are currently doing. The Department of Health has information about contraception, abortion, reproductive health services on its website. And it ensures that we're able to provide resources to get it out in the community. It solidifies its information on our website and makes sure that no matter who's our governor, that we will always have reproductive health services and resources available to the public, covered by the state of New York.
All right, so this bill has already been passed. We're just waiting to see if Governor Hochul signs it or not. There is another bill that is more directly related to sex ed, and this is something that the Trump administration has targeted in some respects. What does your bill do?
So my bill is the Healthy and Safe Students Act. It is carried by myself and Senator Salazar in the state Senate. We have quite a wide array of support for this bill. It essentially ensures that New York State has a sex ed program that's medically accurate, age appropriate, and inclusive of all students K through 12. And again, age appropriate is key here. They're learning, kids in kindergarten are learning about consent and healthy relationships. And as we get older, they're learning about teen pregnancy prevention and sexually transmitted infections.
Yeah.
Now, yes, Trump is threatening to cut funding to states that are part of the PrEP program, which is the Personal Responsibility Education program, which is a federal program. New York receives $6 million in PrEP funding. And while we haven't passed the Healthy and Safe Students Act, we do have pregnancy prevention programs in New York State that is at risk.
Now, for my viewers, last week, the Assistant Secretary for Health and Human Services stated, and this is a quote, "Federal funds will not be used to poison the minds of the next generation or advance dangerous ideological agendas." And what the Secretary is referring to is this federal grant funding for states with sex ed programs that include information about transgender people. And New York, as the Assemblywoman just mentioned, is one of those states. And according to The Hill, if we do see that funding cut, states are going to lose $81 million. Why are these programs so important, and should the state backfill any funding cuts?
We should absolutely ensure that we're continuing to support all students, including our queer, our LGBT students, our trans students. It's really critical for the health and safety of all students. We know that in New York, 74% of trans students have experienced some sort of mistreatment, whether it's a verbal abuse or physical abuse or sexual abuse. And there's no place in our schools for this type of treatment. And if we're not ensuring that all students have access to age-appropriate, medically accurate, and affirming information and education, then that situation is going to be heightened and we're going to put more of our students at risk. So we should absolutely stand in our ground and ensure that we're providing the health education that is inclusive of all students.
There, as you've mentioned a couple times, I mean, you've referred to, there have been concerns about when children learn about sex and gender and who educates them. So how do you respond to critics of this legislation that this is really the parents' responsibility to teach their kids about health options?
Well, again, many parents don't have the tools. I'm a parent myself, and I spent my career in reproductive justice, and I have a teenager, and you know, I do get nervous myself when I have these conversations. We have polling that shows that 95% of parents support having their children have access to important education about their sex and sexuality and make sure that they can take care of themselves and negotiate consent. And what's most important about my bill, the Health and Safe Students Act, is that it talks about consent, healthy relationships, identifying abuse and toxic relationships, which are really important for our future, to have adults that are caring and loving and supportive. So that will reduce the amount of violence we're seeing, interpersonal violence, and will ensure that young people have the tools and the resources and the language to ensure healthy and consensual relationships. So this is really critical that we have a curriculum that enforces that.
All right, and this bill has not yet passed, and you're hoping that this coming session, which starts in January, this bill will get some attention.
Yes, we have a lot of support. And again, New York does provide pregnancy prevention program under the federal program that's at risk. But this is a more comprehensive bill that ensures K through 12, that it's medically accurate, age appropriate, and inclusive of every single student in New York State.
We have been speaking with Assemblymember Jessica González-Rojas about several of her bills that deal with reproductive health and sex education. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Susan.